How to be a good friend. It's really important to be a good friend to everyone. Your own brothers and sisters, your mom and dad, your friends. Wanting what is best for them is a way to be a good friend. You can compliment them. Compliment means to say nice things about them. Say things that you notice. Maybe you like the color of their shirt, or you like the way they smile. It's really important to compliment others. And when someone compliments you, remember to say, thank you. A good friend helps you with tough times. He listens to you. Grandpa Joe is a great listener. When I talk through things with him, things that I'm struggling with or worried about, I feel better. A good friend listens and helps you through the tough times. You might see someone who doesn't feel a part of the group you're in. You could ask that friend to join you. It feels so good to be wanted, to be part of the group. You can be that person that helps others feel a part of the group. You might run into some people who don't say or do kind things, but if you can respond kindly, then the other person may decide to calm down, and your kind words could end up making them a friend. I remember this story once about a boy in a classroom, and the teacher was saying to all the children, would you like to have Mr. Brown for a neighbor or Mr. Jones for a neighbor? Now, Mr. Brown was always kind and always waving to the children and always just smiling and being a great neighbor. Would you want Mr. Brown for a neighbor or Mr. Jones? Now, Mr. Jones kind of kept to himself and sometimes he'd even yell at the children if they walked on his grass, and he was kind of grouchy. So, Mr. Jones for a neighbor or Mr. Brown for a neighbor? The teacher thought everyone would choose Mr. Brown. But when she said, who would like to have Mr. Jones for a neighbor, one little boy raised his hand, and the teacher walked over to him and put her hand on his back to give him a little support and said, why would you want Mr. Jones to be your neighbor? And he said, because my mom would make him an apple pie and I would give it to him, and then he wouldn't be like that anymore. Oh, I love that story. That shows that this child had the experience of being really kind to somebody who wasn't kind to him, and then he made him a friend. Sometimes if we're kind, it can turn the other person into a friend. So just be a good example. Find ways to help the people around you feel better and feel a part. One time when my son Paul was in elementary school, he got the garbage collection club together, and during recess they'd go out and pick up trash. The nurse even gave them plastic gloves to put on their hands, and they picked up trash and they kind of made it a club. Well, the boys in the group started not wanting one certain boy to join. And Paul thought that was kind of silly. He wanted that boy to join. And Paul was very friendly and upbeat and just encouraged the boys to include that boy. And they ended up including him and having a great time collecting garbage during recess. Sometimes it just takes one person to reach out and be kind and create an atmosphere of acceptance. Sharing is a great way to do things for a friend. You can share your toys. You can share your time. You can share your smile. You can share kind words. This is the kind of person you want to be. I know it is. I have loved sharing this message with you tonight. I know you will choose to be a good friend. You can choose to be kind and be a good listener. You will feel absolutely joyful as you find ways to be a good friend. Have a peaceful good night's sleep. Pleasant dreams.